when my father went into hospital, we felt the issue was something quite simple and could be resolved easily. Little did we know that there was a cocktail of issues that would be an excuse for him to return to our Lord. And I say excuse because I know that whichever way we look at it, that is the fact. We could say anything, but at the end of the day, he had to return to his Lord. My grief and sorrow did not start at the point when my father passed away. It started when he went into hospital. When we began to understand the complexities of his health, the issues that he was facing, and knowing that he was alone and far away from the family. I see flashbacks of the family session that we had on House Party, not that long before he passed away, where the reception in the hospital was very bad, and he kept falling off the call, and we'd try and put him back on, and he'd drop off, and we'd put him back on. Little did we know that within a few days, a few weeks, that he would no longer be with us in our lives, and we can't just pop him back on. I hear the call of my brother giving me news about how complex Dad's health was, and I remember the day, I remember the time, I remember where I was. I remember calling the doctor at 1 a.m. because it's so hard to get hold of doctors at this time with so much pressure on the hospitals. And I had a long conversation with that doctor at 1 a.m. telling me that my father has only 2 days which are extremely critical, and that all we could do was to pray. I remember the comeback that my father made on that Monday morning after that 2-day weekend, and the prayers that we made, the pleading that we did to Allah, the 12th Imam, to ensure that we don't lose him, that he stays with us, to do whatever we could to at least, send some blessings his way, and inshallah hope that he would stay with us. But the joy on that Monday morning when we found that Dad had actually fought through and was given a chance again, that was something else. I remember staying up till the early hours of the morning every day after that, making sure that I did as much amals, du'as as I could to make sure that he kept in good health throughout his stay at hospital. I would make that last call at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning after I'd managed to get hold of that doctor. I remember the time when we actually started missing his calls, and then we started noticing that he wasn't texting anymore. And again, the week had passed and Friday came, and we were told that we had 24 to 48 hours on, again, a Friday night. And this time, they didn't have much hope. They said there wasn't much that they could do for us. I continued searching. I continued to find a fix. I'd call the doctor and ask, what possibly can we do? What more can we do? Have you checked these stats? Have you checked this? Have you checked this? And my brother told me with the same firm voice that my dad used, it's time to stop thinking about us, and it's now time to start thinking about Dad. Yes, I went into shock. I was in the bottom of the garden in my cabin when I received the call. I was sitting on a chair, and I was stuck to that chair. I could not get up. I couldn't even tell anyone. I couldn't get up to tell my husband. I just sat there feeling sad, crying, cold. Tears were flooding down my face. Hours went by. It became Maghrib. And through whatever thought came in my mind, whatever du'as, whatever came in my mind, I just kept reciting for hours. And at Maghrib time, I suddenly got some sense of relief over me, because I remembered Bibi Zainab's words where she said, I see nothing but beauty. I had to gain control of myself for the sake of my family, and I had to stop searching. I had to accept and become part of the present time, not think about the past, not think about what could be, to think about the now, what's happening now. We had to give my dad his haq, his last rites, one of which was today when we laid him to rest. And why am I telling you my story? Because I want you to know that there is no shame in grief. It is a process that many of us have to go through at any point in our lives. It could be for many different reasons. It could be our health. It could be something small that we're grieving over. It could be something large. It could be grief that lasts for a long time. It could be a short time. It could be the loss of our health that, as you know, can happen to us at any point. And there is no shame in reaching out to somebody and saying, I need help.